All right, welcome everybody to the Fantasy Danger Zone. This is our first and hopefully many more shows that we're going to put on YouTube.
Many,
So many more.
Yes.
So as of right now, you're going to get web in with me and Sam here. I am Armando Castaneda coming to you from Seattle. And where are you coming from, Sam?
I'm Sam Hernandez, and I'm up here trying to survive with this GCI internet connection up here in Anchorage. So we'll see. We'll see how we do here.
We'll see how Anchorage actually does in what is it, fiber optics. Let's see if they plumbed any in up there.
Yeah. Well, my sons complain about the lag on their video game playing, so hopefully we can survive this.
Well, they probably don't play very good video games anyway. I thought they said they're playing Fortnite.
Well, they're young. They're young, so they don't know. I did just get them into Tony Hawk Pro Skater though, so at
There you
least
go.
I'm trying to raise them right.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I played as a kid. All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to review the Raiders depth chart and how we are looking going into preseason. At the time of the recording, the only thing that we've seen so far is the Raiders-Jags game, where we ended up winning handedly, and no starters played. So we're going to be able to go through. We're going to talk it. We're going to kind of expect, trying to forecast what the team's going to look like. Not necessarily get down to the 55-man roster today, but let's just talk about who we think is going to make it and who's going to be the impact from last year. All right, so let's start out with the wide receivers. Last year, we ended the year with Zay Jones, Bryan Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, and Deshaun Jackson. We limped across the line. How are you feeling about our guys this year?
Well, obviously, the huge acquisition for the summer was, none other than Devontae Adams. I guess any way you look at it, as a Raider fan, it was a win. We gave up a couple picks, but in the end, those picks weren't going to equal Devontae Adams, at least not this season or the next few seasons. So we had Devontae Adams in with the slot machine, Hunter Renfrow, and now all of a sudden we have a lethal 1-2 combo there for Derek Carr. What do you think?
I mean, if you ask my wife, this was the happiest draft I've had on a Thursday in the last 4 years, I think. So
Yeah, with no pick.
yeah, exactly. I already knew who we had, and I would trade the pick
Yeah,
again for Devontae Adams. So
absolutely.
as of right now, we have two studs, and anyone else who's going to be that third wide receiver, it's going to be, I think it's just going to be what is it? Carousel between Mac Hollins, Keelan Cole, Tyron Johnson. I don't think that it really matters who the third wide receiver is when you have a big target like Darren Waller, who's going to command a lot of what the third wide receiver would and more anyway.
Well, not only that, you also have they're talking about using both Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake on the field at the same time. So that's Drake is the big receiving threat out of the backfield. So again, there's the third wide receiver more than likely will end up being either Darren Waller or Kenyon Drake coming out of the backfield. I don't expect much production from whoever that number 3 is.
From what it sounds like, we can transition to running backs real quick. Um, it looks like it's going to be a lot like New England, where you're going to have your ground and pound 1-2 down back and Josh Jacobs, and then you're going to have your James White-ish style player coming in for the passing downs, third down, and etc.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think Kenyon Drake's going to be able to claim that role? Because Amir Abdullah is looking really good and is getting high praises out of camp.
So, and yes, but I say Kenyon Drake because they have invested a decent amount in Kenyon Drake. I don't want to say a decent amount. They invested a lot into Kenyon Drake. for a running back. So I
Well,
think Kenyon
Gruden
Drake is,
invested a lot.
well, Gruden did. However, I mean the Raiders are fronting the bill right now, so
Yeah.
I see Kenyon Drake being on the field. He's an explosive player. He has great hands. It would be great if Amir Abdullah can get back to his form as a rookie. That would be obviously a big boost. And then I'm hoping for big things from Zamir White. As much as all the talk about Josh Jacobs and them playing him early right now to possibly give teams a look. I hope that they keep Josh Jacobs, but I understand why they drafted Zamir White. I mean, he could be Josh Jacobs next year.
I just don't think that they're going to trade Josh Jacobs. I don't see if you're trying to win now, I don't think making your running back room weaker by trading away Josh Jacobs is the right move.
No, and I agree with you. But I think they just did the right thing by drafting Zamir White when he was available, and
Yeah.
just making sure they were protecting themselves for the future.
Yeah, and I like it. The kid looked good against the
Yeah, he
Jag. I mean,
does.
it was the Jaguars, but
Yeah.
the only film that we've been able to see on him right now, and he looked really good.
hmm How about the big uglies up front?
Oh man, well you got Mr. Reliable. Who would have thought that when they drafted Colton Miller at a UCLA that he would have been our one stud that's been holding down the fort?
As a UCLA fan, I really wasn't pleased with that pick. It was nice having a UCLA guy go to the Raiders, much like Eddie Vanderdoes. But yeah, when that first happened, I thought they reached a little bit, and now, I mean, the
Yeah.
dude has developed into a stud left tackle. And depending on how you look at it, whether you're a pro football focused type of person and you look at the ratings and how they do there, he's a top 5 rated tackle in the league now. If we can just get the rest of the line to start to catch up, they'll be able to protect Carr and clear those holes.
Yep. And then our left guard, John Simpson, still hanging in there from last year. He did a valiant job filling in for uh, who retired. I already forgot his name.
Richie Incognito.
There you go. Yeah, I thought he did a good job last year. Andre James did a really good job last year, holding down the fort in the middle. And
hmm
one of the camp darlings this year is Lester Cotton, the guy that's been on and off our squad. I feel like for the last 3 years has finally shown up and is fighting for that starting right guard position.
Yeah, one of those things. Dylan Parham was their draft pick this year, and they drafted him because of his versatility. He can play guard or center. And right now, he may not be the starter, but John Simpson, he we'll see how he does this year. Lester Cotton obviously is winning that battle right now, but we'll see. I think Alex Leatherwood again. You and I, when the pick was made last year, we called each other and had the conversation. Um, we'll see. This is a wait and see a type of deal, and hopefully this kid can figure it out, and we end up with Carr ends up with a pair of bookends that can keep him upright because he's going to need it in this division.
I mean, there's not very many. When I listen on draft day, when those guys talk about, oh, he's not going to be a tackle, I think they might have been right when they said that Alex Leatherwood could not play tackle. And I feel like Brandon Parker is going to win it again this year, and we're just going to have another wasted uh, first round pick. I don't know. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see about that. I mean, at least he doesn't have to go up against guys like Khalil Mack and Bosa 4 times a year. Huh.
Oh no,
Huh.
only
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, maybe
Yeah,
Max Crosby going up against him in practice is going to help him.
I hope so. And then last part of the offense, one of the guys that I'm sad that left was Alec Ingold.
Hmm.
I really liked him at fullback, but we did get Jacob Johnson in. Do you think that's going to be a big miss?
I think he's bringing in a guy that coach is bringing a guy that he knows, a guy that knows his system. and knows exactly what he's looking for. So, I mean, hopefully this works out well. I miss the old John Ritchie days.
Yeah.
The Zach Crockett where you give him the ball in the one and he finds a way to get in. We don't have those fullbacks anymore, so it'll be interesting to see what Johnson can bring to the table.
All right, let's go ahead and transition to defense. So one of the biggest signings that we had in free agency comes in at Chandler Jones, replacing Yannick Ngakoue, who left, or actually we traded to the
The
Colts for
Colts.
Rock Ya-Sin.
Yep.
How do you feel? Upgrade, downgrade, lateral?
So I think Chandler Jones wants to be here, and I think that's one of those things. You hear the elite players like the JJ Watts, and they talk about guys that buy in. That no matter where you are, you'd rather have the dude that wants to be there. Chandler Jones is all about it, man. He's all about the Raiders. He's all about the situation. Teaming up with Max Crosby, and it's nothing against Ngakoue. The dude's talented. He's a beast. For whatever reason, teams just seem to use him and trade him. And
Yeah.
it was good. It was good having him. Teams had to scheme against him. But now we got a guy that's in the house and he's ready to play. I guess my only concern with Chandler Jones really is they talked about double digit sacks again, but again he did have 5 in that first game to start last year.
Yeah.
I think more at this point they're probably more looking for that veteran leadership and a guy who can apply pressure, and really just make sure that they can't just sit there and double team Max Crosby every down.
Yeah. Speaking of our first round draft pick, 2019, Cleveland Farrell, you think he's going to make the team?
I do. I think that they're giving him opportunities, and I think we're actually going to see him on the inside too. I think they're going to try and move him up and down the line just to try and get him some looks. We do have some big boys up front now, and excuse me, one of my favorites, Matthew Butler, is one of the guys that we just drafted. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think that any of the rookies are going to win the camp battle, but
No.
Farrell playing inside, I can see that happening. They like to rotate their D tackles a lot. So whether Tankins or Nichols, Farrell, they're all going to see playing time. Butler, Billings, they're all going to be in there.
All right, let's go ahead and transition to linebacker. We know Denzel Perryman is going to be the stud in the middle with Divine Diablo, who is our sophomore, who's coming in and should be holding down the other linebacker spot. Uh, what do you think about the free agent Jayon Brown adding to our linebacker core?
I love it. I mean, you need guys like Divine Diablo and Jayon Brown. You need those guys that can be versatile, that can chuck a receiver that's coming across the middle, and a guy that can get on top of Travis Kelce, and keep him honest. So we need those guys because Denzel Perryman, man, he's the thumper. He's going to be the dude that's going to be getting all the tackles,
Oh yeah,
cleaning everything up. So we need to make sure we have those guys like Diablo and Jayon Brown. And then transitioning right into Morig and Abram. Those guys are going to be Abram, especially up in the box a lot. So it's kind of like having Abram coming in there is kind of like having your third linebacker on the field at all times.
yeah. I hope they fixed his coverage skills because he really led us down bad paths last year. There was a lot of times where he broke coverage or got lost in coverage or just can't cover. So as long as the ball's in front of him, he's great. But if the ball's in the air, this is one of those ones where you hope the ball hits the camera line or something.
Yeah. Oh man, why'd you have to bring that up?
I'm just glad you remember that. Only Raider fans should
Oh,
know what that is.
oh man. Oh, that was
All right.
terrible.
And then our last but not least, our cornerbacks. You got Trayvon Mullen, who kind of dipped at the end of last year. But Rocky Sin, who's back or new in town, I guess, and hopefully if he's back to his same way he played last year, that should be an upgrade for us. Nate Hobbs, who locked down the nickel, which was great for us. And then the other thing that I've been hearing out of camp is Amika Robertson has finally turned the tide and might actually be playing up to his, his draft capital.
Yeah, I have high hopes for Trayvon Mullen. Hopefully, he can take that leap now and develop into that shutdown corner that we thought we got out of Clemson.
Yeah,
Rock Sin, obviously, that the big trade we had for Ngakwe, and I mean, going forward, this is still a young secondary that I mean, if they can gel here and really stay healthy. That's going to be the big thing. If they can stay healthy, because Mullen's been injury riddled, Abrams been hurt by injury. I mean, if we can just keep our guys on the field and these guys look to the left and to the right and they know who's there, that's going to go a
yeah.
long ways too. All right, everybody. Thanks for today. Remember to hit that like and subscribe. Drop any comments you guys have, any ideas. We're always looking for fresh takes. Again, this is the place to be for your AFC West insight and knowledge. Again, fantasy advice, whatever you're looking for, we have you.